I think you'll enjoy his information. He's got very good information. He's probably one of the best, I want to say, day trading experts. Written quite a few books, so I'm not going to go any more detail than that. Tom, welcome to the Candlestick Forum. Once again, we're anxious to see your information tonight.
Thanks, Steve. And folks, to get started, I'd like to know where everybody's signing in from. Do me a favor, type in where you're signing in from and what the temperature is where you're at. Wow. Pretty wide range of temperatures there. I'm from Mobile, Alabama, and it's a rarity, I guess, from somebody from Mobile, Alabama to do what we do. Been doing it a long time, and I always tell people I love starting out with this first slide, risk, because if I ask and do a survey among my own students, I ask them what the hardest thing for them to do to be successful. Guess what the answer is? Take losses. Taking losses is part of winning, and most people have a lot of problem taking a loss. And so I know I did when I first started. I've been doing this for about 40 plus years, and you really have to embrace the fact you're really a step closer to winning and making money when you're willing to get out of bad trades. And so risk is a very important part of the way I look at the market. I look at the market from the standpoint of how much am I willing to risk to make what I'm willing to make, okay? And I think a lot of people will tell you that taking losses is tough. But we do experiments sometimes where you take and maybe you buy 3 or 4 stocks, and I show people if you get rid of the ones that first show a loss and the ones not performing as good as, you know, out of those 4, and you put all your money into one that is performing good, you will find you'll make more money doing that tactic than anything else. But anyway, welcome tonight, Steve. Thanks for having me. Let's get to the meat of the presentation. Former Air Force officer. I've been an active trader since the late 70s. I'm a member of Chicago Mercantile Exchange. I run a small hedge fund, and I'm best-selling author of 3 books, Winning the Day Trading Game, The Markets Never Sleep. That gets into the 24-hour market, and, of course, Trade to Win. Now, this is something that I started this year in my group. It's called T-Buzz TV. There's no cost for it. But every morning I put out a take on what I see around the world and where I am going to look to make money. And like I said, if you want to join, you get dtitrader.com/TBuzzTV. And I think you're going to find it very interesting and maybe a different take over what you find out there, because I integrate the global markets into my thinking. T-Buzz TV. We started to zero, and I tell everybody we're in a bull market. We got started to zero in 2019. We had the idea, and then we got over 17,000 members. So people tell me they really love it, getting that every morning before the market opens. Okay? And I think my sound is good. If somebody type in that my sound is good, I think a couple people may be signing in with their mobile might be having an issue, but sound is good, right? Sound is good. Thank you. All right, in my opinion, you're in what we call the melt-up stage of the market. Everybody that you see on TV or around is always trying to call a top. Have y'all noticed that? Everybody is trying to say, oh, this is the high. Well, that's not the way to make money. The market will tell you when we've been to a high, but right now This is the melt-up stage of the bull market, the third phase, and this is the phase that a lot of money is made by staying with a good plan, a good process, and an approach. Okay? Now, I think that it's pretty simple. I'm going to give you a number. You write this number down, and this number will simplify the world of what I call how to stay in with the trend. It's the S&P of 3260. Now, write that number down, 3260. Currently, we're at 3320, and so if you look at where the market is, it's got a comfortable 60-something points, and that's how strong this trend is. 3260 is a warning number, okay? 3237 is where we opened January at. We've had 2/3 of the indicators I look at. One is called SCR, that's the Santa Claus rally. It was bullish. The second one was the 5-day Trader's Almanac number, and that was bullish, and that basically tells you through October you can expect about 10% traditionally when you see those kind of numbers, and you figure that out, but basically we've got a good trend to stay with. Now here's 5 insights I tell everyone to do at the start of the year. Number 1, record the prices on the first day of the year. You will find this very useful when we get to that October date. If you would like a picture of my platform and what I'm talking about, then send an email to tg@DTI Trader, and Adam will forward to you the one off my platform with all the numbers that you can use in October. What I would do with that, print it off, put it by your computer, and refer back to it in October, and it really will point out to you the power of what I'm talking about tonight. I developed a way to be very successful with options, and I did it over 40 years. I call it my T-square method. We have a white paper on the T-square, and you can click copy, and you can have that white paper. It's very valuable, and I believe it will open your eyes to how to trade options. Do a lot of you trade options? Let me ask that question. Do a lot of you trade options? Well, when it comes to trading options, I have made a lot of money and I've lost a lot of money. I wish somebody would have showed this to me 40 years ago. This will really help you. The T-square. Insight number 3. You have to have a backup plan, and I tell people, whether you trade futures or don't trade futures, you ought to have a futures account. What would you do to protect your portfolio at 8 o'clock at night? Well, there's limited ways you can do it if you only have a security account. There's a lot more options available to you if you have a futures account. So I would tell you to investigate that as insight number 3. Does anybody here have a futures account? That's good. That gives you 24-hour access when you have a futures account. 3237 is the key to the year. Above it, look to be bullish. Below it, look to be bearish. That's simple. That's the number, 3237. I would take that number and never forget it for the year 2020. Now, there's a 5-day indicator I talked about early on. It closed positive. This indicator has been correct 14 of the last 17 presidential election years. I find that when I trade with the odds, my account grows. So you should approach the market from that standpoint, how to trade with the odds. Let's review the markets that I look at. Might help you. If I look at the different indicators that help me determine whether to be long or short, that's what I'm always trying to determine. I have a system that I developed into a method of analysis. It's called the 7 Sisters. I record as the year progresses where they opened at. That's S&P 500 or E-mini, NASDAQ 100 or NASDAQ futures, Dow, DAX, gold, crude, and bonds. Now, I keep the high, I keep the low. Notice that 33.18 was the high prior to the slides being made tonight. We've been higher than that now, and that's a positive sign as we go higher into the night. My stock list is worked the same way. Whether you're trading crude, Amazon, Apple, all the different stocks, they work the same way. For example, Microsoft, the high coming into today was around 163. We're now 165.90. It's pushing highs. You can tell these stocks by keeping up with the yearly open above it and making new highs. This is the stocks you want to buy. Notice where Twilio is, Lulu, Goldman Sachs. All these stocks here are performing well. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Apple Computer. Apple is putting on quite a run here in January. Quite a run. And you got earnings at the end of the month. Now, probabilities is another way I look at the market. Every day, going back over 21 years, has a probability of being up or down. I know those probabilities, and here they are. You find a day of the week, you look up there, and you see that tomorrow, the 17th, is Friday. 55 means tomorrow has a tendency to be up. You can use these numbers in conjunction with other numbers to have a high probability up or down. And they do help you when you're trying to figure out whether to be long or short. Now, holiday news. If you look at the calendar, what is the news in front of us? We got a holiday on Monday. You see it right there, January the 20th. You got existing home sales on Wednesday next week. Monday the 27th, you got new home sales. You got core durable goods on the 28th. And what I was looking for is the 29th, you got a Fed meeting. Circle that on your calendar. It'll be important as the first Fed meeting of the year. There's 8 of those a year, folks. They move the markets. One is scheduled for January 29th. And, of course, GDP finishes us off at the end of the month. Also track the president. This is helpful because there's a correlation between the word Trump rally and the day of the week. Notice on the 28th of January, on that Tuesday in New Jersey, there'll be a Trump rally. Notice on the 30th of January, he'll be in Iowa. These days tend to lead to be positive days. All these factors that go into making that decision to be long, short, or out are taken into account. Earnings are important. Notice that Apple, Tesla, and Amazon that last week. Netflix is on the 21st. It's going to be very interesting to see those Netflix earnings. But these are stocks that will have earnings that have impact on the trend. Now, E-mini. My direction is long. My all bets off number is 3260. Support came in at 3275. My resistance when this slide was made was 3303. Now we're at 3320. This is the way I set up the week, and then I break it down to set up the day. Now, this is the fun part of the presentation. We had this class this week in Mobile. One of our students brought this along. And she said, everybody, and she was right about this, has a certain personality. What this test will do, there's 8 questions. Why don't you take it, and I'll know you finished it. We'll put a clock up there for 2 minutes or 3 minutes to take it. Take the exam and type in what type person the test said you are. I thought it was very interesting to find out the differences that make up the different traders in my class. And it'd be fun for you to take the exam and see what kind of trader it says you are. KINGDOMALITY.com. Can you put a 2-minute clock up there while I know everybody's had adequate time to take it? Did anybody get in? If not, take it later. There's a couple that got in. Just write it down and take it later if you can't get in. But if you did get in, and you finished the 8-question quiz, tell me what it said you were. I think in our class we had like 4 of the 12 groups were represented. Okay? Prime Minister. Okay. Way to go, TJ. Adam was a shepherd. I'm a black knight. It's a pretty interesting study because you'll find out, like in my case, and one of the issues I had in trading was taking losses. Okay? And, depending on your personality type, it's pretty accurate, really, because you almost can't fool it. Okay? Anyway, I thought that we'd share it with you. We had a lot of fun with it going through it, and you can go back and check it out. Now let's talk about the roadmap software. We developed this over 20 years ago, and if I ask our students what's the one separator DTI has out there, it's our software. My whole career has been to try to figure out whether to be long, short, or out. And one of the beautiful things about it is it helps you make that decision. In fact, it is so good, I can take my granddaughter, who's 8 years of age, and she can be and make successful trades using the software because it's color coordinated. Now, the software's capability, it's been around a long time. We've been working on it for over 20 plus years, but it means important developments, like we said back then, okay? It tracks all the possibilities into one simple proprietary approach, okay? And these numbers around the globe are important to help you win. Now, here's some features that we're building that are coming in 2021. We have a beta version right now with some of them already. Let's talk about those. A smart bar. A smart bar is color-coded to let you know of unusual activity in anything you're trading. And we indicate it with a simple colored bar that allows you, there's something going on, like increased volume and increased movement. The point and figure chart is an old-timey way of keeping up with the markets. I believe in point and figure charts. And I think that if I could spend 20 minutes with you with a live point and figure chart, you would believe in it too. Okay? Now, who trades options? I've been trading options for going on my whole career, okay? And because of that, there's a lot that goes into being a successful option trader. So I designed something inside the roadmap that would allow you to win with options. People have watched me trade options. I did a bunch today. And it's about putting the letters together. So inside the roadmap, we have a feature called Pops and Drops. It scans over 1 million lines of trading code in different issues to come up with the options that are going to pop and drop. Here's an example of what you'd be looking at with this feature. Notice Apple there. Look at the price it came out, $266, $60 ago, right? And this is the kind of head start you get with our roadmap. Now on the right, we have a feature called the Pivot Trader to make sure you can't screw it up. Look at EFA and then transfer over there to buy. We tell our people it can't get simpler than that. Take it from the pops and drops, move over to the Pivot Trader, and then you go with it. This is an example of doing exactly that. And this was on IWM where we had the buy and how it translated it into a lot of money. There's one on Disney, a buy. Again, using options. A put is a very bullish strategy, and as you can see, it paid again. So pops and pop. Here's Crispy, okay, where Crispy gave a buy, and off it went, okay? And that's the one that I pointed out to people they made a bunch of money on. And I always tell people, just listen and take the trade. Don't complicate it. There's 4 levels of education with each feature of the roadmap. Now, it does so much. I think Adam just gave you a couple of the new features. I don't know if he gave you. Yeah, he didn't, but that's okay. But we have classes that cover options, buying calls, buying puts, debit spreads, and credit spreads. And so we give you a proprietary class where you can use the features inside the roadmap. Now, we do live trading where you can get demonstrated step-by-step entries, trade management, target accomplishment, and closure. The software also includes a whole volume of how to do it. Now, I got to tell you something. I found that one of the stopping points for a lot of people with the roadmap is how to get it downloaded on a computer. So we created what I would call an onboard specialist. And here's the way it works. You subscribe to our software. Jonathan Rowe, our onboard specialist, gets a hold of you. He takes over your computer, loads it on your computer, sets it up for the workspace you desire, and now you're ready to go. So all the obstacles that used to be in the way of getting it on your computer are gone. You don't have to mess with it. Jonathan takes care of it. It also has a stock scanner that is seasonally sensitive. In other words, it's going to tell you the best stocks, where to be, when to be, how long to hold, when to hold, where to enter, and where to exit. And it's simple to use. You don't have to be an engineer to use the DTI stock scanner. Now, here's what I call the crux of the roadmap. It's called the 4 patterns, 67% accuracy module. There's 4 simple patterns to use. And I'll talk you through it. I thought he'd have some slides there and show a picture. Okay? But basically what a buy signal looks like. What a buy failure looks like. What a sell signal looks like. And what a sell failure looks like. Let me give you an example. I'm going to go over screen sharing here. Adam, you didn't show it? You didn't put your slide up there? Let me see if I can do mine. No, it won't do it. Never mind. Can't show it to you. I was going to show you a live roadmap in operation where we got a buy signal in play. Okay? I'm going to go to a whiteboard and show you what I'm talking about. I'll do it this way. The buy signal is depicted in the roadmap. It looks like this. And then we have a buy zone. And that's what a buy signal looks like. A buy failure, where you have a penetration bar that goes into the buy zone, and then you have a reversal below the low of that penetration bar. That's a buy failure. A sell signal is opposite of the buy signal, and a sell failure is opposite of the buy failure, where it goes into the sell area and then reverses above that high. Those 4 patterns are going to keep you on the right side of the market and help your accuracy as you do it. And that's the old-fashioned way I just showed you what it looked like. We also have the 0 to 30 course inside the roadmap, where within 30 days, no matter where you trade stock, options, or futures, you will have the steps and the education to take advantage of it within 30 days. That's included in our course. Trade management's a big part of trading. I give you the textbook use of a senior trader, myself, on how to manage a trade. How to enter, how to add to, how to protect it, and how to exit. Now, I opened the beta program to 100 people and it sold out. If you would like to join our beta program, because the beta program comes with live training, then you can join tonight. This is the beta price. It's good for a year. You'll have a license for a year. And what we'll do is hold a class to get you started with the pops and drops. Any questions about the roadmap software? If you ask any DTI trader that has it, they won't trade without it. That's a pretty good statement. Adam, you didn't have the slides with the pictures? I'm just curious. Yeah, is there a way to bring up my live roadmap where I can show everybody what I'm talking about? Is there a way to get screen sharing on my end, Jim, or? Is Jim there, or Becky, or Steve, or somebody? Huh. Would you mind if I took them to, well, I was just thinking I could take them to my room in Omnovia and show them the software. Really pretty cool if you can go live and show people. Adam, how do I get it to be a bigger deal? Can y'all see the roadmap? Mine's a very small screen. Can y'all see it? It looks okay? Okay, I'll demonstrate. All right. Somebody give me a stock. Just name any stock. Give me a stock. Apple. All right, this is Apple. All right. Do you see these blue bars right here? See that blue bar of Apple and that blue bar of Apple? See that? Over here to the left, write this number down. If Apple goes above this number here, 315.97. Do you see that? Here, I'll blow it up. Over here in the metrics, over here in the left, that gray area, I'm reading the number. It says 315.87. There you go. Can you see it now? It's bigger. 315.87. Can you see it? That over there, the metric. Okay, you see it. All right, what that tells me, write that number down. If Apple goes above 315.87 tomorrow morning when Apple starts trading, that goes into a buy. That tells me that Apple's target right here below would be 321.64. So what I would do tomorrow with Apple, if it got above 315.87, I would buy a call option on Apple, or I might use what I call a put spread on Apple, a 315, 12.5 put spread and make money off Apple more. That's the way it works. Tells me that. Now, if I look at under charts or under launch here, and I go to pops and drops, it tells me out of all the stocks that traded today, I'm just going to do the call side right here, Apple is in that top, which tells me that all I need to see happen is with my pivot trader, another feature, which is right here. I'll just open that up. You see, Apple's got a buy there. If it goes bye-bye tomorrow above 315.87, then I've got an 85% probability that Apple will go higher. Okay? Now, Harry says, well, what do you do if it goes up and then down? That's the beautiful thing about the roadmap. You come over, do you see this blue bar right here, Harry? My all bets off number on Apple is below that blue bar of 312.80. So what else are you looking for? You know where you're wrong, you know where you're right, and all you got to do is take the trade. That is the power of the roadmap. I could do this all night, but if you're interested, you can go to dtitrader.com/candlestick. Here's what we'll do, because it's here. Oh, absolutely it works with futures. That's what it was designed for originally. Then we expanded it to stocks and now options. So here's what we're going to do. Okay? Anybody that signs up tonight, we'll give you 60 days. 60 days, if it's not what you think it is, in 60 days, we'll just give you your money back. How you like that? That's how confident I am that you won't ever give it up after you've had it. Okay? Adam, can you code the people that sign up to know I made that offer? I don't even do that to my own people, but I'll do it for them tonight because, okay. Let's put a clock up there, and that gets us past that. Put a clock up there for 10 minutes, Jim, and those that want to take me up on that offer, they can have 60 days and do it. Gary, explain yourself. What do you mean, what criteria? It gets into the approach that we use. How did I get it? It's based on, are you familiar with a concept called average true range, Gary? Average true range? It's based on two things, average true range and time of day. The time of day is proprietary. We've been working on it for 20 years, but it's based on 4 major times. Here they are. 5 o'clock when the market opens in the evening, 3:30 in Asia, 8:30 when the U.S. market opens, and 12:30 when you go to California. Okay? No, Gary, but in this particular version, we're working on it, okay? We're not ready to release it. It's got a lot of features. This thing's been in development for 20 years. It depends on what you want to trade. We've got CAN workspace after, when Jonathan helps get it loaded on your computer, he'll ask the question, what do you want to trade? And he'll give you the workspace that we developed specifically for yours. It doesn't run on Apple. No, it doesn't, BK. It does not run on Apple. Yeah, no problem. That's the link you got to sign up, Javier. Yeah, we have a link that we give our students that it will come on your mobile device. We do that. Let me. I want to do something here real quick. I'm going to change from Apple to the E-mini. All right. Notice. Let me come back over screen sharing real quick while I'm doing this. Notice the E-mini. The E-mini went up. That's called a penetration bar, that blue bar going into the buy area. If we break below that low of that bar, and this is a pattern that we teach, which is about 16, then the market becomes a buy failure, and that usually means it comes and trades down, okay? You can't see it? Let me. Do you see the chart? It's too big? Is that better? No, it's not a sell yet, Bill, but it's telling you where it will become one with the futures tonight on the E-mini. Adam, can you tell if Javier got in or whatever? Anyway, here's the ETR line. See the ETR line, electronic tape reader? This tracks every market around the clock. It picks up on the the stocks over here about 3:30 in the morning. Okay? The custom page is different than every other's custom page. We have the reference bar open, and that's what we call those blue bars. We have the midpoint, what they trade in the last 24 hours. And, of course, we have the opening price, which we value, the opening price. So here's the question. How many people would be interested if this one roadmap would improve your trading by approximately 20%? In other words, you'd be 20% better at what you do regardless of what you do in the market. That is what accuracy does for you. If you are using the roadmap, your accuracy is going to go up and your risk is going to go down, which is what every trader dreams to do. Pretty cool stuff. All right, I got about 4 more minutes with you. Anybody got any questions? Any questions? Anybody got any questions? Would y'all like what I call a scholarship trade for tomorrow? All right, I do this for my beta group, okay? Here's a trade for you tomorrow. Sell the January 31st expiration Google 1410, 1407 and a half put. Do that put spread on Google. There's a scholarship for you. 30-minute NW, 30-minute. Hey, might as well get paid for coming, right? All right, 3 things you should have done tonight. Number 1, you should get the T-square. It'll help your option trading. Number 2, you should get the trade sheet that shows the prices at the first of the year. And number 3, join dtitrader.com/tbuzztv. All 3 will help you trade. I want to thank Steve for inviting me tonight and get to know us. Just like Steve, I've been around a long time, and you might be glad you came tonight. Notice I said might. That's up to you. Any questions? Adam, remember, the people that sign up tonight, you got to let me know who they are, but they have the option of opting out after 60 days, and I'll give them their money back. Just keep a list of it, Adam, okay? Yeah, you can be new. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Javier, it's all on demand, and we have live training in this beta group you'll be invited to, okay? We have live trading. Look, this is a tough game you're in. Let me just say that. And if you got somebody like Steve to listen to, or I think I can help you if you get the right tools. I know I helped a lot of people over the last couple of decades. So again, it's just a matter of doing the work. Yeah, Adam is your contact to help on anything. He's my right-hand guy. He will help you get to where you need to get to. Michael, the T-square you got to fill out. I think you got to send an email to get that, right, Adam? Is that right? Thank you again. And as I always tell everybody, this is what I always end with. I'll see you on the flip side.
Thank you very much, Tom. Very good information. Everybody, take a look at Tom's information. This is not just, this is years of experience put together for a successful trading program. So anything that you can use or apply to your trading that improves the probabilities that something's already been analyzed to be working in your favor, that's going to increase your correct trade ratio. And that's the most important aspect of investing, is learning how to get in the good trades and eliminating the bad trades. So with that, Tom, thank you very much. Adam, thank you very much. Everybody take a look at Tom's information. You'll come way ahead. All right, everybody, have a good evening.